The Buschy and Bobo Show, a healthy scratch podcast. Here's your hosts, Kyle Busch and Brian Rager.
Welcome back to the Buschy and Bobo Podcast. It's episode 17. I'm Buschy, that's Bobo. At the end of this, it might just be the Buschy Podcast. We'll see how it goes. We're going to jump right into it. We got some situations with a few players we want to talk about, and it's old news for sure, but we haven't talked about it yet. So Jack Eichel and the Buffalo Sabres are a dumpster fire. We say that all the time, but Jack Eichel and the Sabres are in a situation where it looks like it's just going one way, where he's done. Like, he's not going to be in Buffalo. I think that's just an absolutely fractured relationship. We can go and talk about, like we were saying, Eichel wants a certain surgery on his neck. The Sabres doctors want something different. They totally disagree. And now, stripped of the captaincy and looking for a trade. Like, how do you dissect all of this stuff going on with Buffalo and Jack Eichel?
It's been such a dumpster fire, such a clusterfuck, and that's just the easiest way to put it. Like I said, their relationship is so fractured and stuff. Like, even I have a better bill of health in their relationship, and that's saying something.
This guy's got cream cheese for blood.
Like, I have an ankle the size of a freaking bowling ball right now. It's like I said, he's gonna get traded. It's sooner than later. Like, I've seen reports like on TSN and whatnot saying, "Oh, it looks like they're heading towards a trade and all that." I think that's just rumors right now. Until, like, does he get traded? Yes. This relationship is absolutely fucked. Will they get as much as I think they can for Jack Eichel? No.
Yeah, they will.
I think it's not very similar. I think, but a good comparison in another sport, I would say, is in the NBA with Ben Simmons. Like, Ben Simmons said he's not coming back to Philly.
Okay. In a certain way, I understand what you're saying, where they both are disgruntled players that want to leave.
Yeah.
But Ben Simmons is not at the same level that Jack Eichel is in their sport at all. Jack Eichel has the potential to be a top 5 player in the league. Ben Simmons, a bum.
Ben Simmons has that, but like, if you want to just say potential, Ben Simmons does have that potential.
Then go play for Charlotte, man.
Is he going to? But the one thing I actually saw today on Ben Simmons as well.
Wait, does Charlotte suck?
Well, they got Lonzo Ball's brother, LaMelo, and he just tore it up last year.
Okay, well, whatever.
Anyway, go to a bum team. But put in the effort. Like, Lonzo Ball, he was picked second or whatever. He's put in the jump work to get his jump shot. Like, Ben Simmons is just lazy as fuck now. But if you put that work in, he has the potential to be a top player. And that's sort of how I like I said, you could sort of see where I'm going with it, where both disgruntled players, they want out, Jack Eichel is getting traded. The whole captaincy thing, I think, just put the nail in the coffin on that. Where is he going to go? I don't know.
Okay, do you disagree with the way that I think Buffalo has handled it, or that Jack Eichel has handled it? I
disagree with the whole way Buffalo's handled. Well, you know what, he wants traded, so getting rid of the C, I think, is the first step. So it's hard to say.
Okay, but if you're Buffalo,
this guy's.
Why wouldn't
you're gonna get rid of the C off of him?
No, let me ask my question. So, okay, if you're Buffalo, why the hell are you trying to fracture this relationship instead of being like, "Hey, listen, we want you to be the guy here," right?
Yeah.
So when you dissect this, it's either they've tried that already, which I would assume they did, because Kevin Adams isn't a dummy. Like, if there's a GM that will probably get them going, I assume it's going to be him, even though he signed like Eric Stahl and thought like Taylor Hall was going to be the difference. But like, you got to assume they've already went that route with Jack Eichel, saying, "We want you here. You're a captain. You're a leader." The whole doctor thing, you have to, like, have they talked about it? No one knows. Behind closed doors, I doubt it. If Eichel just goes, "I'm out, see ya, screw this shit, I'm out." But I'll say this. At that point, if Buffalo has already tried all of this stuff and they've kind of emptied the kimono with them, so to speak, then I absolutely agree with them to try to protect an investment, basically. right? Going, hey, we don't want to ruin you, right? If you're going to be here for a long time. So here's what we are kind of saying. I understand Jack Eichel's situation. Where he's like, well, no, I have to think about the rest of my life.
Yeah.
After hockey, right? You can look at this two different ways. Well, three. There's like the crowd that's just all the hippies, like, just call me when it's over, man.
Hey guys, where's Eichel?
So the two spots that I keep hearing about where he's going to land would be Calgary, which guess who called it? This guy.
Love it.
And Anaheim.
I've heard Anaheim. I've heard LA.
LA is always linked to everybody. The Rangers are always linked to everybody.
Yeah.
Go sign Bobby Holik again.
So I don't think a Rangers. Like I said, it's going to be a Western Conference team.
They just signed Zibanejad to an 8-year extension.
Yeah.
Right. Couple guys from my Larkin video, actually. Well, Barkov
got his.
Barkov and Zibanejad both signed long-term 8-year deals. Yeah. So, but you're still going to have to pay a bounty for Jack Eichel.
Yeah, they're not going to give him away for peanuts.
No,
absolutely.
You're going to have to give away a first-round pick, another first-round pick, a top prospect, and a player. That's how it's going to go.
Yes, but I feel like if it was a situation where, say, it's a contending team, say there's no salary cap and Tampa wants to go get Jack Eichel.
There is a salary cap, though.
No, I'm saying his value, though, like, yes, you're still going to have to give up a shit ton, but I feel like if it was, there's no fractured relationship and you're going after him, you're going to almost have to pay double of what you're going to have to pay now.
You're saying that the market isn't as saturated as it would have been?
Yes.
Well, either way, I mean, he makes what, $10 million a year?
Yeah, 10 mil for how many?
So already
years? Like 6, 7 years.
Right. So already it's like you have to fit him in somehow. So I think, okay, what do I always say about trades?
Don't do it with Ken Holland. Actually, fleece Ken Holland.
I don't say that.
Yeah, you do.
But in a way, all you need is one other person to make the trade. Not all 32, just one. They'll find one, right? It's just a matter of, are they going to get the value? And I know Sabres fans are probably freaking out because you saw the return on who did they trade where it was Taylor Hall. It was like, wait, you only got a second-round pick? Was that what it was? I understand that.
But that was also on a 1-year deal, right?
So if you trade Jack Eichel, you better get something for him, right? It has to help this team rebuild, but the rebuild's been going on so long that I think managers always panic and go, if I don't get this going in the next few years, I'm screwed. So then they do something like sign Eric Stahl, sign Taylor Hall, try to like jumpstart the thing. Not to jump back, we'll talk about the Wings at the end of this pod, but be patient. Like it's the thing that is different, I guess, with the Detroit.
I know it's
Yzerman has time. They've said, hey, like, you're here. Kevin Adams might go like, oh my God, his butthole clenching time. Like, I'm screwing this up. I can't afford to trade Jack Eichel and get nothing for him.
If you're a Sabres fan, though, how long have you heard, be patient, be patient, be patient?
They haven't. They literally were going for it like 2 years ago. So they thought, and then they ended up last.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, I'll go on Cap Friendly, like, I'll look at these mock trades that people put together, and there's one that was published Friday here for Calgary. It was Jack Eichel going to Calgary for Eric Goodbranson, Nikita Zadorov, Dylan Dubé, Juuso Valimaki, Dustin Wolf, and a first-round pick.
I mean, if you're Calgary, you're stupid to do that. You gave up your future, Dubé, Valimaki, and Wolf, and a first.
Yeah,
you high.
And then going to Anaheim, I'm just going quickly through these. I see an Anaheim one here where it's Eichel to Anaheim for Rickard Rakell, Hampus Lindholm, Adam Henrique, and Trevor Zegras.
Okay, all right. So that's why they're fan trades. And I honestly,
because there's no way.
Like, Hursty's posted that. 100%. That makes no sense. If you're Anaheim, you literally just gutted your team. You have nobody but Jack Eichel and his bad neck. That's terrible. Okay, another thing. Trades. Okay, I know Hursty listens to this. Listen, bud.
Oh my God, fantasy.
Listen, if you want to make a trade with someone, this is okay.
I don't want a running back that's on injured reserve.
Jack Eichel and the Buffalo Sabres have not a lot of leverage. We were just talking about this. You know why? Only a certain amount of teams can afford him, and only a certain amount of teams of those teams that can afford him can afford to trade assets for him. So your market is so small, you're limited in what you can get back. So you can't pit teams against each other. Okay. When you go to somebody and try to make a trade, you want something they have. They set the market. So you can't just go up to, a Ford dealership and say, I want an F-150. And they say, well, it's $50,000. And you go, that's no fair. I'll give you $10,000. It's not how it works. They're going to go, no, get out of here. We have 7,000 trucks we can sell. And you're going to go, well, then good luck selling. It's like, dude, I'll go sell it to someone else, or I don't need to sell it at all. I'm fine. I'm all set. I got all these trucks. You can't go to somebody and say, hey, I want that Red Delicious apple. I'll give you 2 pieces of cat shit, because 2's more than 1. That's not how it works. Yeah, you have to come and give me 2 Golden Delicious, because I like those better than Red Delicious. You might like Red Delicious better than Golden. Let's make a deal. We both get something. But I set the market. Me. Same thing with Buffalo. They set the market, but they're limited in what they can do. They're trying to sell somebody, right? They're trying to get rid of somebody. They're not trying to get someone. If you're Anaheim or Calgary, you can look at that and go, well, Buffalo doesn't have a lot of leverage. 1, Eichel says he wants out. 2, we're the only few teams that can maybe afford him, right? And I know that I don't have to offer, an insane amount. I just have to offer more than Anaheim's offering. That's all I have to do. And then Buffalo has to go if they want it or not. And if not, then okay, fine, move on. If you're Anaheim or Calgary, you don't need him. No. It'd be nice. But if the price isn't right, see ya. I mean, have fun with Jack Eichel not playing for you. Yep. That's what's going to happen. He's not going to play.
No.
He's not going to be a Buffalo. He's done. He's not playing. He's not going to, if he does.
He's done in Buffalo.
If he wears that jersey again, I'm shocked.
When do you think he gets traded? Like, when abouts in this? Do you think it's within the first month, before Christmas, trade deadline?
Dude, if I'm Anaheim, Calgary, whatever the team is, I'm sitting. I'm waiting. I'm not in no rush.
If I'm Buffalo, I want to try to trade him now and get as more for him as I can. But he said, if I'm one of these other teams, if I'm Calgary, I don't know. I just sit, wait. Okay, you know what? He's not playing. His stock is going.
You know what the thing is too, though? I just thought about this. The one with maybe the least amount of leverage right now is Jack Eichel. The teams can, like Buffalo. Like, think about Buffalo. They're bad, and hey, tank it up, boys, again, right? Yep. Try to get Shane Wright. Without having Jack Eichel in your lineup, you're a way worse team than with.
You're a dog ass team.
You're already bad. You're bad
without Jack Eichel. Oh God. You might as well
maybe they can wait too.
Timbits.
Just wait till the deadline. Wait until whenever you wait until the right deal comes along, and you play chicken with these teams, and you play chicken with Jack Eichel. That's all you do.
Yeah, you're not in a rush. Like, you don't need to deal him right away.
The thing that's happening,
nice to get rid of the media, so you get all this media off the back, but that shouldn't be. You're not. A GM is not going to fall under the pressure that, like I said, they're going to wait for that right deal. And
right, and at the same time, another thing that they've said it might speed things up is now teams that are interested in him have like his medical records, so that like their team doctors can look at it and go. They can either go, you know what, we actually agree with the Buffalo doctors, or they can go, yeah, like, no, dude, let him get what he wants.
Yeah.
So now they know how bad or how not bad this issue is. So another thing that the teams now can see it, which I was kind of wondering, like, why wouldn't they disclose that unless it was that bad, right? Where they're like, we won't be able to move him. Maybe he has something really bad going on. Another player that's in a little bit of, not, I don't say a pickle right now, like the team and him, is Brady Tkachuk with the Senators. He's the only RFA not signed, and we'll jump into the other players that have signed.
He was skating with them.
Yeah.
And like DJ Smith said, know what, we're going on right now without him, and he's game planning without him. It's I know this is something that you and I said right before we started recording, and I'm going to bring it up again. Like, when was the last time this happened with Ottawa, with the guy that is going to be the guy? Like, I know you said before Alfredson, and then they ran him out to Detroit, but he was at the end of his career. But like, this is, what do you do if you're Ottawa? Are you in a rush? Like, do you think something's sort of close together? What's the situation on that?
Yeah,
Like,
I
what do
feel
you
like
think
if you're the
is
player, like if you're Brady Tkachuk, I don't think he's going to do this William Nylander sit out till December thing. He can. I mean, it's definitely within his right. I think the Senators want to sign him like 8 years. They want to just, you're the guy. Because I think right when he signs, he's either the captain or he's the assist. It's either him or Shabbat. Like those are your guys, your cornerstones. Like those are your guys that are going to be your
well, he wore the A,
core
like I
going
said, he wore
forward.
the A last year, so it wouldn't surprise me. Like I said, if they sign him, he's going to get that C.
Right. I honestly, I probably would go with Shabbat just because he's a little quiet. It depends what they want, but regardless, I think it's more about term. Like I think it's Senators want like an 8-year deal. Brady Tkachuk might want a bridge deal, and Ottawa's going, hey, like we're committed to you. Are you committed to us? Because if you just want a bridge deal, that doesn't send like a great message. And it's probably something where it's a bridge deal that gets him to free agency. It's probably not a bridge deal where you're now an RFA again, a la like Tyler Bertuzzi. And like it happens a lot where teams will go, okay, like, we'll give you 2 years, but you're still in the same boat, right? So you're kind of gambling on yourself, right? Brady Tkachuk is a really good hockey player. I think we can agree on that.
Yeah,
But he wants what he's worth. But you know, you're gonna get what he's one of those guys who would get a bridge contract where he's making $8 million a year. He's not gonna make like 4, he's gonna make 8. But they're probably offering him like 9 over 8 years. You have to guess.
Fuck, you ask me to take 9 mil over 8 years? Absolutely, I'm
Yeah,
doing it.
But it's in Ottawa.
Yeah, that's
So, you know,
but you're 22. You know, you're a young team. You're going to be. It's
to me, they're in the same boat almost as the Red Wings, in a way where it's like your young guys are there, your older guys are getting pushed out or are pushed out already, and now you're kind of hoping everybody you want them to keep developing. That's what I want to see from Detroit. Again, we'll talk about that later, but. Yeah, so I think it's just a matter of time. I think they'll get it done. You know, the season starts in a few days, right? So I think they'll get it done. And
you think
I don't think it'll be a big deal.
You think it's going to be a bridge or the long term?
I think they'll give him 8. I think they'll blow him out of the water. Like, dude, listen, like you're a guy.
And then he's going to have one of those, like you said, like Carlson contracts or Spezza or Heater contracts.
I would be concerned, you know, if you're an Ottawa fan and you see, you know, Brady Tkachuk 3-year deal, you're like, oh shit, he's gonna leave. If this doesn't happen, or if this doesn't get a lot better real quick, like you're on a timer now. Which either way, I think you would be, but that's the only thing that I can see. He's gonna get his money. It's just a matter of how long. So let's look at the Senators. Listen to this segue. The Senators rebranded a few years ago, right? So. The Coyotes just did it again.
I love how they did it.
Yeah, they went back to the Kachina, like the 1998 Phoenix Coyotes jerseys and the logo. They just went back to it. They're like, hey, listen, we've heard the fans. This is what they want. We're doing it. And they're keeping the burgundy one as like a third jersey. That's fine.
Which is what they did last year for their home jersey. The Kachina was actually the official home jersey.
Was it? Okay.
And
I remember back in like the early 90s or late 90s, early 2000s when they had that.
Tkachuk,
Jeremy Roenick, Teppo Numminen, Habby Boulin, JRK Lume. They had all these guys. And yeah, they a lot like it was one of those things where the jersey just didn't, for the time, didn't look right. It looked like a roller hockey jersey back then. They went to the Howling Coyote head with the new colors and everything. I liked it. I remember when they did that.
It's a nice logo.
04, something like that.
You know what? I will bring that up right.
It's around 2004, I think, for sure. But that one got dated really quickly. It really did. It did. And like the colors were kind of neat. They had like the kind of the sand beige in the bird. Like it looked like it reminded me of the desert colors. You look at
a
Like
rebrand. It was a good rebrand. Yeah, it was a good rebrand at the time.
And then you go, and it's kind of wearing.
0304.
They didn't have a lot of success with it. So I was okay. Cool. I know everything. So my question is, the Coyotes were smart enough to go, hey, this is what the fans want. this is kind of the cool thing to do. This is the in thing to do right now. The Senators did it, and I like their
Flames
old
did
TV
it.
logo. Kind of, yeah. I mean,
They got rid of
you're
black
right.
and they went back to the 80s.
Sure, but they didn't really rebrand the logo. Is what I'm talking about. Who's next, or who should be next to totally change their primary logo? It doesn't have to be the jerseys or colors, or just the logo. Like you went
To
from
go
the
back to
Howling
a logo,
Coyote head to
back to
the
the
Kachina,
Kachina.
and that's it. And and that's one of the things is two-part question. One, who should be the team that goes back to a logo that they had before?
There's a few.
And two, is there any teams that maybe don't have one from the past, but that need to update their logo?
Okay. So, said like, do you want just one that should do a rebrand, or should I just give you a list right now?
Oh,
Even
one. I'm going to tell you one.
Yeah, because Buffalo did the rebrand too. Like they went back to the lighter colors and all that.
Okay, with Buffalo, I still think I really like the Dominic Hasek era. Yeah, the Buffalo head, the black, red, silver, and white. That was pretty
nice.
Sweet.
And they did that in the reverse retro, right? No, they didn't do that. They had the
yeah, they did. They had it on the shoulder.
Yeah, on the shoulder.
If they had real balls, they would have done that or the Buffalo Slug.
No, not Buffalo Slug. Fuck Buffalo Slug. And then even like you said, Pittsburgh did it. Like they got rid of the muted gold and they went back to yellow.
Okay, but I'm not talking colors. I'm talking logo.
Oh, logo itself?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm talking
about the colors. Like I just want to know, hey man, like okay,
the
Penguins. Do you want the Penguins to go back to the triangle logo?
I love that. The Robo Penguin, I love that logo.
Okay.
But
that's what I'm saying. Should they go back to it? I don't think so, but
I don't. You haven't had success with it.
You told me one before the show. Your boys.
Yeah, I think Vancouver go back to the spaghetti skate. But then again,
full time and get rid of the Orca.
Orca could go like as a third jersey, but that spaghetti skate is just so nice.
But listen, you're not getting the whole thing. This isn't just like a hey, like for a little. Like
this is full time.
Rebranding this shit.
Full time. Vancouver's going back to the
Orca. Bye Marcus Naslin, Bertuzzi, Sedins, all of that. You're going back to Kirk McLean, Trevor Linden. You know those guys. Yeah. Gino Ojic. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be so cool. Like they could do it.
Pavel Bure.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing. Are you in or no?
When you put it like that, I know I said it before. No. Yeah, because the one thing I do like what Vancouver did was
the Orca logo sucks.
The one thing that they did do to make
that has nothing to do with anything. Although, I mean, to be honest, none of their logos have had anything to do with anything anyway. But
at least they got rid of Vancouver over it.
Think of their logo and how stupid it is. The Vancouver Canucks. What's the first thing you think of Vancouver Canucks if you didn't know any of these? What would you think?
Like
I don't know.
Have like a Johnny Canuck logo.
Something like Canadian. They have a fucking whale jumping this
out of a
way,
C.
Out of a let's make it a C because Canucks. Ooh, cool. And there's like ice at the bottom because of hockey.
Yeah, you gotta have hockey and ice.
And then it's just like this. It's just like, dude, get rid of it.
I love what the Abbotsford
You're not the Vancouver Orcas.
I love what the Abbotsford Canucks did. The AHL team. They took that Johnny Canuck skating logo.
Yeah,
and that's their logo.
Okay,
right. But a team that should rebrand.
I have a slam dunk. Yeah, I have a slam dunk. Anaheim. They have to go back to the Mighty Ducks logo. They might have the worst logo and jerseys maybe in the league. And here's the thing. Now, my brother's Randy's a big Ducks fan. I think he'll agree in saying the reason that, and it's not even the ones they wear now. It used to say Ducks across the front. The only reason that those are like looked back upon fondly is because they won a Stanley Cup in 2007 with those jerseys.
Aside from that jersey is like,
well, the logo, it's the same thing. The D,
the jersey,
duck foot.
The jersey and the logo, like that's a nice shoulder patch, but as a logo itself, it sucks.
Here's the thing: they need to go full. Like they
gotta go back to purple and teal, and
that's where I'll bring colors in, where it's part of the logo. They've brought back the duck masks hockey stick.
Yeah, they have it on an orange jersey. They did it on a teal jersey on their 20th or 25th anniversary, whatever.
I want the eggplant. I want the horizontal stripe at the bottom, the teal. I want it all, man. Bring back that logo. And here's the thing: the Samuelis or whatever the owners are, they'll never do it because they're stupid. Because they don't want to be like, oh, we're not the Disney team.
Ducks.
No one gives a shit. Your fans would go bananas for that jersey, for that logo to come back. Are you kidding me? You make a killing.
It's so nice.
Even you hear me, Samuelis? You put that thing back.
Even like the shoulder patch I had, like with the Wild Wing just going like that, and had it in the like, oh my god, like. Mm-hmm. But just that logo is such a nice logo.
Yeah, that's one that they should have done for sure.
Is there some other teams I have?
Okay,
I think Florida should just go back to the scratching cat.
Sure, I mean they've had that soccer looking crest for like 4 years.
Yeah, I think LA should get rid of. I don't like LA's.
See, LA will
or the
never
Chevy logo.
They'll never do that. And again, because they won two championships.
Cups, yeah.
So now it's a classic logo. You watch like 20 years down the line, like, hey, that's the logo we won with, twice.
Yeah. Robo Penguin, I would like to see come back in some sort of fashion, whether it would be full time, probably not, but Pittsburgh won't do that because, like you said, they've won Stanley Cups with this logo that they have now, and then back in the 90s too, right? Mm-hmm. So,
what about the Winnipeg Jets? I don't think they have the stones to go back to like the 1995 Winnipeg Jets.
I don't think they do either.
Do they have the rights to that?
They do. They've and that's their permanent third jersey for this upcoming season is the one that won the Winter Classic. But if they were to bring that logo back or that jersey back, like as their full-time set, that would be a top logo.
I just realized we probably sound like such old guys. Like, bring back the logo. Like, so
even the San Jose Sharks.
Out.
I love the old Sharks logo.
Out. The new one's way better. The old one is so boring.
So many people prefer that old logo.
If we want to bring color into it, let's do the new logo with the old colors. How about that? Can we meet there?
What do you mean?
Take the old Pat Falloon looking jerseys with the teal and and then take the brand new logo and put it on that jersey.
Okay. I see that.
I'll do that. No orange, none of that weird shit. Just do that.
I know in like the NHL video games, I've taken the spaghetti skate for the Canucks and I've done it in the current colors, like as their AHL team.
Sure.
I did a rebrand and it looks pretty good.
Okay. Well, then do that one. Tell me how good that looks. It'll be subtle. Yeah. It'll look like the old jersey. I just think the logo is way better now. Has the subtle SJ in it. Like that's interesting. Not a lot of people know that. So those are a few, I'd say. There really isn't any others that I would. Nah.
Don't
you mean
go back to the Eagle?
No, they did. They did the reverse retros. I like the ones they have now. Those are the ones that are actually the logo they have now is the classic logo from like the 70s and 80s. It's
a modified classic logo, modified version of it.
Yeah, if they were still using the eagle head or the
or the Parliament building,
the black one, yeah. Parliament building
or Parliament White House, whatever the fuck it is. I'm not American.
I visited Parliament in Ottawa. It's like it looks like Windsor Hall, or Erie Hall from University of Windsor.
Just like
it's like
that was supposed to be one of Ottawa's original logos too.
Really? Yeah, I'm glad they didn't. You go with the Spartan, which I don't even know what the hell that has to do with anything, but
it's a Senator.
I thought it was
Spartan.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting to just like think about maybe a team that could do that. I think Anaheim's the slam dunk.
I'd agree. Anaheim, there's a few that could make some changes, but I agree with you. Anaheim is that slam dunk of a pick that they're next on the docket. Will it happen?
Right.
No.
The Canucks with the spaghetti skate would be interesting. The Canucks have had a few things going on lately. I know you want to talk about it.
Couple things are right, couple things are wrong.
We can start with the good stuff with Elias Pettersson and Quinn Hughes re-signing, both of them like the same day, wasn't it?
Yeah, same day, within an hour, I believe, of each other.
Right.
Like they were waiting for their contracts and doing all that negotiation, they were skating together in Michigan and whatnot and keeping in shape. But yeah, like Hughes, they committed there on that 8-year deal. Like, was it 7.8, almost $8 million over 6 years? like 6 year, 8 mil AAV. And
It's 7.8
7.85,
and then
and then Pettersson's
3
years, almost 8 mil, like 7.3, I think.
that one is
7.5.
interesting. I'm interested in that. Is he still an RFA after this? Remember I was talking about Brady Tkachuk only signing a 3-year deal and being like,
yeah. And I know that's something he brought up.
On cap friendly, then look at it.
I am. He is an RFA after the 3 years.
God. Okay. You're gonna have to maybe pay him more than that, but hey, he's gambling on himself. Interesting things I've been getting,
rightfully so, I believe.
Yeah, I've getting more into like advanced stats and stuff like that, and just like some interesting things. So like Elias Pettersson's projected WAR percentage, like wins above replacement, is 96%, which is like really, really good. He's basically like good across the board. Like an interesting thing is like even strength offense, even strength defense, he's in the 80th percentile, which is like really good. Finishing 96%. So it just means like his advanced stats for like scoring are really good, obviously. He's not on the PK, but power play. I don't really watch the Canucks, but his power play is only 54%. So he's very average on the power play. Does that make any sense to you?
Yeah, because the Canucks, I don't believe they had a solid power play.
Yeah, but this takes into consideration that like this is him individually.
He's
zone entries, chances, giveaway, like I put all that together. So it doesn't matter who you're with.
It's something that like if I were to bring up their daily face off.
Yeah, but no, you're missing the point. It doesn't matter who he's with. He could be with
he could be with me and you. Himself.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
That it does surprise me though.
Like for example, let's pull up Quinn Hughes. He's on the same damn power play unit. His power play is 89%. So Pettersson's not amazing on the power play, but he's good everywhere else. Isn't that interesting to look at?
Which it is surprising because that power play, it's Besser, Horvat, Pettersson, Miller, and Hughes.
Right. So Quinn, yeah.
So that does shock me there with Pettersson a bit. Is it worth that?
Stats are interesting.
Is it worth the 7.35 over the next 3 and then an RFA? Yeah, absolutely. I think he's going to have
he's making 8 mil.
Yeah, 8 mil or whatever over the next 3
years.
Yeah,
he's worth it 100%.
Absolutely. I think he's going to have a big jump this year.
If you did 8 years, he would have got 10.
Yeah.
For fun. Quinn Hughes, this is going to be interesting for you. And he's still developing. This is just over the past few years. His wins above replacement percentage is 56. So kind of average, but what he does really, really well is obviously power play. His like primary assist per 60 is like 95%, which is really good. So he's like a primary like playmaker, and his passing stats are off the chart. Where he's really bad is zone entry. So defending.
Because he
lets people just walk in. So he's in like the 5th percentile, which is like he's not good at it. But like a guy like say like Eric Goodbranson is going to stand everyone up. He'll have like a 90%. Yes. That's what that means.
Yeah. Well, Quinn Hughes is 5'10", $170. Of course, like if someone coming in,
you have to play differently. Yeah. It just gives you a snapshot of what type of player he is. It's really
let
cool.
him in the zone and then try to go about that way.
Right.
Offensively, the guy's stud. You said it there. He's primary assist or whatever it is. It was 90, whatever. It's he's getting those chances. He'll move the puck. He finds the open man. He'll primary, maybe a shot, and then the guy puts in that rebound and he gets that assist off it. But he's an
offensive defenseman. He's offense first, right?
Yes. And I like that he's
and he can always get better at these other things. This is just a snapshot now, right? This isn't projecting into the future. This is what is he now, right? And what has he been the last few years?
And
gives you an interesting look.
He's the guy. He's the one defenseman they want to build around, right? Well, like you look at their D, OEL, Tyler Myers, both older guys, Tucker Poolman, Luke Shen, older guy, Jack Rathbone, younger, but Quinn Hughes is that stud defenseman. And he's the one you want to build around. So he's definitely worth that 8 mil. Obviously, Pettersson's worth his money there, but I'm not gonna compare saying Brock Besser is a Pettersson or Horvat's a Pettersson, or Connor Garland, but we still have younger guys that are
in my Larkin video, I did compare some of those guys. Like I teased it with Barkov and Zibanejad, but like
And you did with Horvat with Larkin.
With Horvat had the same type of contract, same type of what, when he got it, same amount of points. So like,
and Horvat's a second line center.
He's a perfect second line center. And I think so is Larkin. So that's where I said they need a Pettersson.
Yeah.
That's why I like this. They're building it pretty nicely. So
it's been frustrating the last few years, like since the Sedin retirements and trying to find that identity.
But you're getting your young guys and they're developing but one guy that hasn't and is just a total bust is Ole Juolevi, who just got traded, right? So he got traded from Vancouver to Florida. So he was a 5th overall pick in 2016. That's the Austin Matthews draft.
Yeah, he played in the OHL for London too, right? So like I saw him play a couple times.
Well, London is a powerhouse when he was there.
But both years, he played 2 years in London, 57 games, 58 games, and then 42 points both seasons. But
that's just in the O. I mean, anybody can do but he got traded.
Steve Ott was a stud in the OHL.
He was. So Juolevi, 23 games last year, 2 goals, 1 assist, whatever. But he was a 5th overall pick, and they got back Noah Jelson and who's this Lamico guy? I've never heard of him, but
Juho Lamico.
So I got it pulled up here. So this Lamico guy's 25 years old.
Yeah. He had 5 points in 44 games. And then he played in the KHL beforehand, 8 points in 22 games.
Yeah, so he was originally a 3rd rounder in 2014. And then you got Noah Jolson, who
from Abbotsford.
But he was Montreal 1st round pick. He's kind of the same boat, just didn't turn out. And he got moved to the Panthers last year. And so now he's with Vancouver. So it's like, you didn't really get anything back for Ole Juolevi. Like, what went wrong there?
He just never found it. Like he never
found his footing and didn't. So like, it's a bad pick, right? Like,
yeah, it is a bad pick, especially when you go to that draft.
I'm going to tell you right now
that 20, like the one guy that absolutely I look at that 16th overall pick.
Jacob Chikrin, which used to be Detroit's. It's a crazy thing about looking back at drafts and how it goes.
Couple of the draft picks after, like Sergachev, bless you, JP, Charlie McAvoy, Chikrin.
Well, I'm saying Tkachuk was right after him. Like Jesse Puljujarvi was right before him, and he was looking like a bust for a while, and he went back over, and like now it's like, hey, he's back, he might be a thing. Pierre-Luc Dubois didn't look too good last year. Tkachuk, Keller, yes. Alexander Nylander's not really a thing. Sergachev,
I'm just looking at defensemen because they took obviously a defenseman there, and it's just like,
I think you can do that with every draft, right? I mean,
it's a crapshoot, not necessarily a crapshoot, I should say, but it's your scouts.
It is a crapshoot. You don't know. I mean, they thought Ole Juolevi was going to be a stud, right? Like you picked a guy like 4 years later or 3 years later that is like your best defenseman now that we just talked about, signed a huge contract. He made it quick. This Juolevi guy, he could have been Quinn Hughes. Quinn Hughes could have been Ole Juolevi.
It's true. It's
hard to project.
It's disappointing when you see that who went afterwards and especially if he has finds his niche in Florida there. Like, I don't know what their defensemen, what their lineup, their D lines are, but
regardless, it just looks like a change of scenery move.
Exactly.
This Lamico guy was just a throw in, but the main thing, even Noah Jolson, he went through waivers. Like, so you're moving a guy to get a different opportunity for another guy who wants a different opportunity. And they're just both AHL type guys right now that they can't crack the lineup. So
they're always on that bubble. Bring up, send down, bring up, send down.
That's something that's kind of hard to swallow, I guess, if you're a Canucks fan. But like you said, you don't hit on every one of them. There's a lot of picks we could go through that are top fives that didn't turn out. But at the end of the day, if you go, Brock Besser, Elias Pettersson was a 5th overall, was he not? Pettersson was a 5th overall, right?
Yeah, was a
Pettersson, Besser, Quinn Hughes. Let's say those 3 guys, Ole Juolevi, and you're like, hey, guys, just so you know, out of those 4, 3 of them are going to turn out to be really good.
Yeah.
2 of them are going to be studs. One's going to be really good. The other one's going to be an absolute bust. You're going to go, oh shit, I'll take it. Yeah, you want all 4 to turn out, but realistically, 3 out of 4, not bad.
It's you're not going to hit. You're not going to hit on everyone.
You're looking at it going, damn it, we could add Matthew Tkachuk. That's what you're doing, and you can do that with a lot of picks. So,
but you live and learn. So obviously, you didn't make that adjustment from junior to the pros, and hey, it happens. It's at least we got something back. 2 younger guys, 24, 25 years old. Again, AHLers. Go Abbotsford. I'm actually really pumped this year for Abbotsford. Like, I don't know.
Here's a funny video for you. This is Canucks related too. So obviously they traded for Oliver Ekman-Larsson. I don't think we're reading into this, but I just thought it was funny. But this is a video of Oliver Ekman-Larsson bag skating with the Canucks, and the title is OEL out of shape. Okay, let's watch this. He is skating in quicksand. I'm gonna try and get this glare away. There we go. Look at him go.
So if you're just listening, all the other skaters are like at the opposite blue line.
Oh,
and he's
they're flying.
At his blue line.
He looks like he has a dump in his pants. Like he looks like he had a night the night before.
Yeah,
like he went out drinking. Look at him just dying.
he went out. He went drinking. Someone put freaking clear tape over his skate blades, and
I guarantee you, if you go in that comment section, people are going, "What the hell?
Him.
What the hell is happening?" Right?
Just gonna roast.
So
him.
Funny.
He's that's interesting. I like it just because it got rid of Louis Eriksson and Antoine Roussel.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's just
we got Connor Garland too, right? In that trade.
Yeah,
so
that's a good trade. I mean, that is funny because people probably are.
It's so funny. People are just gonna bag on him, and
give
him, if he doesn't perform, they're gonna roast him to shit.
Can I bag on someone and roast someone right now?
Go right ahead.
Okay. Do you know who Paul Woods is?
97.
Does anybody know 97.1? Yeah, he's the color commentator for. Well, it's not actually 97.1. It's just the Red Wings radio
on 97.1.
He's the color commentator. So he was a Red Wing for like 6 years back in like the 70s, like basically until Yzerman showed up and like when they were terrible. And he's been doing this for a long, long time. And like I love Ken Cal, who is the play-by-play. He's awesome. And now. Here's where I'll do a little comparison, okay? Ken Daniels and Mickey Redmond do TV for the Red Wings. Ken Cal, Paul Woods do radio. I love Ken. Ken Daniels is awesome to listen to. Ken Cal is the same way. They have this voice. Their goal calls are a little unique, and like they have this sound. So if we compare Mickey Redmond to Paul Woods, you have aging ex-players as color commentators. They're both homers. Let's get this out of the way. Mickey Redmond is a huge Red Wings homer, but that's why we love him. But he's like a lovable like homer. You know what I mean? You're just like, man, I love Mickey. Like he's so funny. Like he'll just be like someone like Detroit will get a penalty and he'll be like, come on. You know, like it's like, dude, it's a penalty.
He's like your dad. He's like a dad watching the game.
Exactly. Okay. I want to do this as respectfully as possible. Paul Woods. Okay. He is a homer that is just like, it feels like the game's passed him by in terms of how teams are built, how players perform, what contracts are, how leverage works, and how the new NHL works. So it's almost like, and I don't have like a lot of specific examples, but I remember listening to a game just the other night where like I a few times was like, what are you talking about? And he like cut off Ken Cal at one point and was like, well, I actually disagree with you, Ken. And like, you need guys like this on the team. It's like, what are you talking about? Last year, he was talking about Franz Nielsen, who was a healthy scratch for like the whole year, who has a no trade clause, wearing an A on his jersey on a 7 or 6 year deal for like $6 million with one big whopping effing goal. And he's talking about this guy like he's like the next coming. He's like, you need guys like Franz Nielsen to win in this league. Paul, they're in last place. What are you talking about, man? You need to get with the times. These contracts you don't just give a guy like that a big contract. Ken Holland screwed that up. Just because you work for the Red Wings doesn't mean you have to say everyone's awesome. Hey, Darren Helm is not awesome. He's terrible. Luke Glendening, all we can talk about is how many faceoffs he won. That's it. And how many backhand goals he got. Ooh, right?
Buschy has his headphones off if you're just listening.
Not in the league, or they're not on the team for a reason now. Because Yzerman looked at them and saw a trash can with skates on. And that's why Nielsen, Filppula, Eriksson, they're all bad players. Okay, Paul? I know you probably like them, and that's fine. And I'm not saying these guys are bad people. They are bad hockey players. We can look at metrics. We can look at advanced stats. But advanced stats to Paul Woods is like plus minus. Like that's you know what I mean? And we're looking at faceoffs. So, well, you can think about intangibles all you want. But at one point you got to look at the guy and go, he makes $6 million a year. Why does he have one goal, Paul? How is that a good thing on a team that's in last place at the bottom? Why do we need this guy? He's 37. Get him out. Every damn game, I got to hear about these veterans, and I'm happy that they're all gone because now we get to see the young guys, and we're going to talk about this coming up, but it just infuriates me at how he thinks Bobby Ryan is Sidney Crosby because he got drafted right underneath Sidney Crosby. That's not how it works.
So Buschy just went on a huge rant there, and it was hilarious. And I just Googled a picture of Paul Woods in the radio booth. And the guy
I don't want to make fun. I don't want to make fun of Paul Woods.
Like,
I think he's a good guy. But I fundamentally disagree.
I was just going to pull his picture up while you were ranting, just so you would just be like,
no. That's not how we're doing it. We're being respectful here. I disagree with how he thinks a team should be built or who is worth something on a team. I don't know the
commitment to the team. So he values Helms and Eriksson,
Dan Cleary's and Maltby's and I get it. Here's what I say. Those are highly replaceable players with younger, cheaper, more upside talent. I would rather have Giovanni Smith play over Franz Nielsen 1,000,000 times out of 1,000,000 because we don't really know what Giovanni Smith is yet. We know he's younger. He's got some speed. He can get you one goal, but guess what? He's making $700K. You can send him down whenever you want. Now he's through waivers, but that's my point is we're not paying a fourth liner $6 million. Franz Nielsen declined big time. He was brought in to replace Pavel Datsyuk. It was doomed to start. So we can't just sit there and defend the guy. It's okay. Like if I was Paul Woods, I think it would resonate with Red Wings fans more if you kind of said something like that. Like, hey, you know what? At the time,
he was great at the time, but
no, he wasn't great at the time. He was immediately not good with Detroit. He was on the way down.
Good. He's a good person. Like, because these guys know the players more of on individual basis. Sure. Great guy. But it sucks to see him leave. But
no, it doesn't suck to see him leave, Brian. We want him gone.
No, as the person, not the hockey player.
I don't care about that right now. I'm saying Paul Woods. I don't want to attack him as a person. Of course not. I'm attacking the way that I think he approaches the team building part of it and who's worth what. So like Franz Nielsen was probably a 1%, a 1% wins above replacement, maybe not even, maybe a 0. Like you're just not useful at all. Get out of here. You're not worth even a contract in the NHL. But we got to go through and listen to this crap every single time. And it just bothers me as a Red Wings fan because I know there's some people that'll go, oh, like Paul Wood said it, so then it must be right. Like Franz Nielsen's great. Like, dude, open your eyes and watch the game, right? That's what infuriates me. And I just wish one time he'd go, yeah, Franz Nielsen didn't work out. You can't have a $6 million player playing on the fourth line. Cool. You know what? I'm on board. Don't try to sell me on it because you work for the team.
Franz Nielsen, he's a great player, and I think he has so much potential. Like he could help these guys. It's like I said, it's a $6 million.
Sorry, Paul. He's 38. Everything about him is yuck. We're buying him out, right?
You know who it sort of reminds me of, and I'm just gonna leave it. Jim Price with the Tigers. I can't stand he's such the super homer.
The yellow
like you
hammer.
Said.
He's a super homer, but at the same time, I just feel like these guys are really, if you worked for the team, yeah, you don't want to badmouth anyone, but there's ways to do it, right? There's ways to slowly be like, we got some guys waiting around, and if you're not going to perform, like, that's just how it works. That's how life works.
Like Dan Dickerson does it with the Tigers, and like I said, the way Mickey Redmond does it on TV, it's funny. Like you say, it's
Mick's a homer.
He's a homer, but he's not being super homer. Like I said, he's the guy.
Well, he'll even say like, yeah, you know what, Larkin had a bad year last year. You need more out of him. I'm like, yeah, he's right.
Holding the guy, he's not holding him accountable, but it's like, what? Yeah,
he's not tearing him down.
He's the captain.
He's saying you want him to be better. Yeah, where Paul would be like, oh, he's the best player in the league. I don't know.
Number one center.
I want to talk about the Wings right now because like one thing that did happen that really sucks is arguably their best player, Jakub Vrana, is going to be out for 4 months. He was in training camp for like 10 minutes and screwed his shoulder up. So he's getting shoulder surgery. And I think it's one of these things where, I'd rather have Vrana in the lineup than not, because again, he was one of their best players last year. He's the most exciting player after that Mantha trade.
11 points in 11 games.
He,
with Detroit.
Yeah. It opens some doors for a few other guys, and there's two that I can think of. One is way more exciting than the other one. One of them we'll say is Bobby Ryan. We just talked about him, but he'll be cheap. He was a 1 year, $1 million contract last year.
He'll be $775,000.
Yeah, he'll have the minimum, but he's on a player tryout right now. He's had an awesome preseason. He's scoring some goals. He's getting involved. He's in the top 6, plays the power play. I think they'll sign him because Vrana's out, quite frankly. The one thing that I am concerned about, and it's not a big deal. I know people want to see this and I want to see it, but I really want Lucas Raymond to make this team. And you always say like, oh, if he's not in the top 6, like, why are we playing him? Put him on the third line. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he performed really well in the preseason, and I really liked what I saw from him. Scoring some goals, setting plays up, looked really good on the power play. Looks like he's ready for that jump already. You have the 9-game thing where like, the
send him down by the 10th or whatever.
Yeah. You can send him down now, no problem. Call him up whenever you want, just for contract situations. So I won't be like panicky if I'm a Red Wings fan, if they send him down before the season starts. It might be a contract thing. It might, like, you only have a number of players on the team until maybe Vrana goes on injured reserve. There's a lot of things. I think you're going to see a lot of Lucas Raymond this year. You'll see a lot of Moritz Seider as well. But I think Vrana being out opens that spot, on the top line. So we saw in the preseason a few games, I think at least 2, where the top line was Larkin, Zadina, and Raymond. And I was like full mass, like, oh yeah, give me more, man. And
little peckers,
full candy corn down there. And I liked it, and they gelled. I liked how they played, and smaller than that. And that's what I want to see. But people go like, well, what would he do when Vrana comes back? I go, this is a great problem to have. That's a really good problem to have, right?
Especially with Lucas Raymond being only 19 years old.
Yeah.
Like,
the weight of the world isn't on him. It's just like,
it's interesting. I find it interesting. Like I said, the two guys there are Lucas Raymond, who's 19 years old, like looking to make his footing into the NHL and whatnot. And then you have Bobby Ryan, the vet who's been around for a while. It's the opposite end of the spectrum, right? Yeah. Like Lucas Raymond, you can put him on that top line, but Bobby Ryan is your third line. Well, Detroit, he might be a second liner.
Well, I was saying you can put Bobby Ryan on a third line if you want to. Who cares? He's not an investment. He's here for a year. I think he's the other thing that I keep hearing.
He knows his role.
Yeah, like you keep hearing he's good in the room. And there was also a quote because there was a few things where like they were on the same line or the power play, him and Raymond, and like they see him on the bench and he's like talking to this kid and like they're like, well, what were you talking about? He's like, I remember being like a young player in the league and like having somebody like in your ear to kind of help you through it. And in my mind, I'm going, that's awesome because this guy's on a player tryout competing with this guy.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, like here, you know what I mean? I'm like, you have to sign him, I think.
I think he does. I think the Wings do sign him.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's going to be a minimum deal. So you'll be looking around $750,000. That's the type of guy you want on that bench, talking to those young guys. Hey, this is what I've learned in my years. This is what I learned in Anaheim.
They don't have a lot of older guys now. If you really think about it and look at that team, there's not a ton of them. You know, like Nick Leddy, maybe, like DeKaiser, kind of.
Sam Gagner.
Up front, Gagner. And then Bobby Ryan.
Yeah.
So maybe you do want that, you know.
Meskov's 28, and that's it. Like
he's gonna be on the fourth line probably.
But everyone else is 25, 24, 26.
I think he'll sign. I think they'll both be on the opening roster. I think that's what will happen. I'm excited to see it. I like how a lot of these guys are developing. The one guy I wish I would have saw a little bit more out of in the preseason was Jonathan Berggren. He got sent down to Grand Rapids. He needs a few years down there, to be quite frank with you. I see what they're doing there. Did you see what number they gave him?
52.
Yeah. Let's wash out that Eriksson out of here. Get rid of this shit.
If he starts playing like an Eriksson, even though he's
hopefully he doesn't curse him, man.
Even though he's a forward, if he starts playing like an Eriksson, then
you think Jonathan Eriksson's like, man, I wish they were gonna retire my number. You know?
No, bud. No.
They have a few numbers that are just out of circulation that aren't retired or honored, like 40, 13, and 55. No one wears them.
It's 91.
Well, 91 as well, but like that's gonna happen, man. That has to happen. Like Yzerman's the GM now. Like,
well, 14 wasn't that what Nyquist was wearing?
Oh, 14. Fabry wears it right now.
There you go.
Yeah, it's 14's been there for a long. Derek Meach wore it like 2 years after Shanahan left. So there's a few. It's just Fedorov, Zetterberg, Datsuk, Cronwall. But yeah, I like what the Wings are doing. Nedeljkovic, I mean, we'll see how it's going. He had a few gapes in the preseason. I was like, boy, like hopefully he figures it out as preseason.
You know what I'm really pissed at right now? Just because I know we're wrapping things up here, and the season's going to be starting. You know what's happening on October 16th, man?
What's that?
Red Wings versus Canucks in Detroit.
We can't go.
You
know what I was actually just getting mad at yesterday is I saw this deal that the Red Wings are doing. So for people that don't know, the Red Wings and the Tigers, the MLB, they're the same owner. They're doing this thing where if you buy tickets to, I think it's opening night for the Red Wings, you get a complimentary ticket to the Tigers opening day in April. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me, man?
Like,
I would have done that for sure.
That's such a
The first time we can go to a game, we're going to like the Raymond Club or whatever, the East Club, West Club, whatever it is. We're doing. I don't care. We're doing that.
Second game of the season. Is the Canucks.
Well, I was looking at going to Toronto, how much it would be in Toronto, and I was like,
it's gonna be
500 bones for the upper deck. Yeah, I'm out. The other thing, Ottawa, they have a game in April, or there's a game in April in Ottawa on like a Sunday, and I'm like,
perfect for you.
Maybe, go visit the bro up in Ottawa and go see the Wings there.
So
but
you said it's like $500 for the Leafs. I'm just looking at the first like 5 games for Detroit, the first 5 home so they open up on the 14th against Tampa, $65, starting at $65.
0-1.
Vancouver starting at $55.
1-1.
Yeah, we'll see. Columbus, $39. Calgary, $39. Florida,
right. But that's showing you. But that's showing you the cheapest.
Yeah, well, I'm saying starting
good seats.
It's just
probably $100 for a good seat. Lower bowl, like row 20, $100, right?
It's the one thing I hate right now, being on a border city.
I know it sucks because it's just like I could be over there right now having a great time, and you can't. It's like, come on, man. Yeah, I hope they open it up for like double vaxxed people or who whatever. But I mean, if they did that, I'm going every week. I'm going all the games I can before they close it up again.
And before the team gets pretty good, right? You want to go see these?
I want to see the young guys. I mean, I would have went to a few of these preseason games, 100%. I would have. Because they're cheap, and then you can go and see these guys play, right? Like it would have been like spur of the moment, like it's Saturday, and then it's like, by the way, like Raymond, Sider, Zadina, Veleno. Veleno too. I think he's gonna make the team. He looked pretty damn good. So
that's when you send a text, hey Bobo, what you up to? You want to go to the game? Let's go.
Yeah. So hopefully better things ahead. So until next time, Buschy and Bobo signing off. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Check out our YouTube channel. We do have some videos once in a while that we throw up there. Definitely no schedule.
The next podcast, we're both gonna be married men because you're already married.
Yes, we will. Yeah, I think we'll be a little bit of a hiatus for the next week or two, just because Bobo is getting hitched, and it's gonna be a good time. And then it's all gonna be a relief, and hockey starts, and we're gonna have a lot. Guarantee you,
we're gonna have something before the wedding. We're gonna have to do probably a YouTube or something right before the wedding.
Well. We have
during the wedding.
Tease a special guest that we have maybe for the next podcast.
How you gonna do that now?
Pete is back.
How you gonna do that now? You taste Peter.
How are you, Peter? I'm gonna talk about some gull horns. So yeah. So that's something we'll do just for fun. But until next time, Buschy and Bobo signing off. Take care.